Game Boy is one of my all-time favorite systems. I love playing Game Boy. I love Game Boy games. But I was thinking, what is the best way to play Game Boy games? Is it the original Game Boy? It's classic, but the screen's a little hard to see. They improved it with the Game Boy Pocket, but still a bit disappointed by the Game Boy Pocket screen. Hey, Nintendo 64! Nintendo 64 adapter, maybe the Super Game Boy? I got a Super Game Boy, maybe that's the best way to play Game Boy games? No. Because you can't play Game Boy Advance games on a Super Game Boy. Game Boy Player for the GameCube, maybe, but then it's not portable, right? Game Boy Color was good, but no backlit screen. Then they came out with the Game Boy Advance SP with backlit screen. It's a very good system. It is a very good system, Game Boy Advance SP, but there actually is a better way, in my opinion, than even the Game Boy Advance SP, and that is Booyah! These are little stickers that my mom put on these, but yeah, this is a Nintendo DS. Now, why the Nintendo DS? Well, the Nintendo DS has a better screen than the Game Boy Advance SP. It's got a faster refresh rate, so there's less smearing of the image. It's a little bit brighter, a little bit better screen. It can play Nintendo DS games. So you got two cartridge slots. You got the Nintendo DS game cartridge slot that goes on the top, and you have the slot on the bottom for Game Boy games. But I hear you say, ooh, the DS, that was insane. It reminded me of the old school Game & Watch. Yeah, I think that's where they got the idea. But hey, Alderin, welcome in, my friend. But what's the critical downside to the Nintendo DS as a Game Boy game player, right? It does not play original Game Boy and Game Boy Color games. Why not? It only plays Game Boy Advance games in the bottom cartridge slot. Well, that is not a problem if you're elite hexers like I am. No. Okay, so what I have here is a flash card. It's called Acekard, and it has a micro SD card inside of it. So that micro SD card can store Nintendo DS games, and it can store Game Boy Advance games and Game Boy games and Game Boy Color games. There is a homebrew emulator for Nintendo DS that plays Game Boy and Game Boy Color. Okay? This little cart, expansion cart, goes in the bottom. This is erasable memory. So the Game Boy, there are Game Boy Advance ROMs stored on the SD card, and in order to be played, they're temporarily transferred into the expansion card, and then the DS has no idea that it's not a true Game Boy Advance game. It has no idea. All right, so let's check out some of the software. All right, let's check it out. I'm going to. I was experimenting earlier. I'm gonna try to show this on the other camera. Hey, yeah, Alderin's here. Does the DS have HDMI out? It does not. It's handheld only. It's handheld only. All right, I'm gonna switch to the other screen, and I'm gonna show you guys a few things. You'll have to bear with me because I'm gonna change positions here. So I'm going to try to hold the Nintendo DS in front of the camera while I show you guys a few things that this can do. It's actually, in a lot of ways, better than playing on a real Game Boy and a Game Boy Color. Do you guys remember? Hold on. One more thing I want to talk about real quick here. Super Game Boy, right? The Super Game Boy had one unique feature that only the Super Game Boy could do, okay? And that was add borders around, I guess the Game Boy Advance player does it too, but it adds borders around the picture. Yeah, these are great. To kind of fill in the space, so it's not just a black square in the middle, or a square in the middle of a black TV, all right? But that's the only place you could get those borders besides an emulator. Well, I guess technically this is an emulator. Okay, let me show you what's so cool about playing. Oh. playing Game Boy games on the DS. Alright, so here's the DS. It's got a custom menu. So I can go down and choose the Game Boy Emulator. Alright, it's going to load that. I'm going to pick my folder, Game Boy games. So here's the list of Game Boy games I can choose from. Now, what games do we know are Super Game Boy compatible? Oh, first of all, look at the top. It's got a little border. So any game I play will have this border. And there's many borders I can choose. But I like the one that looks like the Game Boy, okay? So let's just pick a game at random. Let's see. I'm good at picking random games. All right, cool spot. Whatever, cool spot. All right, it's going to load it. And here we are playing it just like it's a Game Boy Color. Right? Okay, so it's going to load the game. And there we are. Cool spot. Now, here's the cool part, though. I will exit the game, and I will load a Super Game Boy compatible game. All right, watch this. We're going to load Donkey Kong. Watch what happens when we load Donkey Kong. Did you see that? The background changed. It changed to the Donkey Kong border from the Super Game Boy. Very cool. So, any game that has Super Game Boy borders are automatically loaded into the emulator. Hi, Zombie Stomp. Hello, how are you? I'm just showing off this Game Boy thing that I have. Okay, one more thing I want to show you. Game Boy Advance games are playable on this. Now, normally, when you play a Game Boy Advance game on the Nintendo DS, I wish I'd brought one in to show you. What you get is, you get the, since the Nintendo DS screen has a higher resolution than Game Boy Advance, what you'll get is a black border all around the screen for the Game Boy Advance game. But this actually lets you add borders to Game Boy Advance games. So let me just pop one on and show you what that looks like. Let's see. Pick a good game because I feel like showing off something cool, but whatever, it doesn't matter. All right, Super Mario, fine. Okay, it's gonna load the game. Now, instead of the black border all around the game, I have this little border that says Game Boy Advance at the bottom. It's mostly just black. I kind of liked it just black, but where it says Game Boy Advance at the bottom, that's normally not there. If you were just to put a cartridge into the Nintendo DS, it would just be a black border. But I added the Game Boy Advance logo to the bottom of the screen, and I think it's very cool. Very cool. All right, I guess that's it. Of course, it also plays Nintendo DS games because it is a Nintendo DS. But very cool. If you want to play Game Boy, Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advance game, a Nintendo DS is the way to go, in my opinion.